Okay, so no matter your age, we're going to talk about retirement. And this is something, my dad just retired, and kind of seeing him go through this process, he's young, it's awesome. Now I'm starting to think, how do I get there? How have I set the goals? So you're Stephen Rhodes, you're from Strategic Partners Wealth Management. All right. So do you tackle a lot of people just kind of starting out in the business, or do you essentially at this point get a lot of calls from people already?
It's a little bit of both. We get a number of clients in a number of different ranges. We work with people from as far as being professional athletes all the way to teachers, and they always have the same question: how do I prepare? And the first thing is you have to get clear, because in our society, retirement is this abstract thing that's out there in the future. We know a little bit about it. We know we should be doing something to prepare for it, but we all feel guilty because we haven't felt like we've done enough. And so it's taken some time to really get a clear picture, and I like the term second chapter planning as opposed to retirement, because to me that really grasps the core of what's going on. You're going to close one part of your life and you're going to start the next. So really taking some time to write out, what does that second chapter look like? What are you going to be spending your time doing? Who are you going to be with and where? And when you get a good grasp of that, it gives you the motivation you need to tackle the rest of the steps.
And is it always smart to think the money, the first question a lot of people, how much money is it going to take? Do you go from what your cost and expense of living is now and translate that? Is it, or is it wise to think, oh, I'd cut down, you know, on expenses?
Well, I think it goes back to that, figuring out where you want to be and then attaching a dollar amount to that. And then the second thing is starting to figure out, okay, where am I now? You know, taking some time to write out what's coming in every month, what's going out, what are my assets, what are my liabilities, how much I owe. And then once you've kind of got a good picture of where you are now and where you're trying to go, then you can start to try to connect the dots and figure out, hey, is it based on where I am now, or is the life that I want in my second chapter a lot different than what today looks like?
Is it ever too late to start saving and you know, setting those goals for that second start to reinvent yourself?
No, actually, it's never too late. It may mean that it's a little bit more challenging, and you're going to have to make some tough decisions about, man, to really get to where I'm trying to go, I'm going to have to change and make some adjustments about where I am now, but it's never too late. And for those who do feel like it's too late, another recommendation is I always say, get some help. Don't go at it alone. There's some things that you can do yourself. I always suggest, you know, trying to find ways to make more, spend less, or both, you know. But if you get stuck there, you know, find a good certified financial planner, someone who can give you a good kick in the pants if that's what you need to get going, or if nothing else, give some strategies, some ideas, some thoughts, and you know, provide some encouragement along the way.
Are people working, do you think, longer and longer and maybe scared to retire and kind of pull the trigger once they get into their mid-60s?
I think they are. I think my opinion is you should never retire. Again, you should maybe stop and close one chapter, but I had one client say this. She said, Stephen, I don't want to retire because people who retire and do nothing, they die. You know, and I thought that was pretty accurate. So I think people are waiting to retire or to enter the second chapter on their terms. So it may be a little bit longer, but most people don't want to sit around and do nothing.
All right, how do they get in touch with you? I just called you Stephen. I'm sorry, Stephen.
No problem. It's you know, happens all the time. But the best way to get a hold of me if they've got questions is they can visit the website, which is www.spwealth.com.
All right, wonderful. We'll put a link on KPLR11.com. Thanks a lot for joining me. Very insightful.
Thank you.